All right, so we've finished the box. Now we're going to make and install the top on here. I want to get into my nice standard view. So I'm going to come up here to camera, standard view, and pick top. And I'm going to draw the top off to the side of this. Now my overhang on my project is going to be 1/4 inch on each side except for the back. So I went 14 inches, so I'm going to go 14.5. And then I'm going to come down. I went 10. So we're going to go 10.25 and back over 14.5 and up there. So this represents my top. Now what I need to do is rotate this around and pull this up to the right thickness. So I'm going to pull this up to 0.5 inches or 1/2 inch. So this is going to represent my top. And now what I'm going to do is put my decorative profile or cut on there. So I'm going to come down here to the edge and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Oops, that was maybe a little too much. And I'm going to start by drawing a shape on here. I'm going to come over 3/16. So I'm going to come over 3 divided by 16, enter, and down 3 divided by 16, enter, and find those dots and connect them. All right, this little section of the video is an update, so that's why you don't see the jewelry box in the background anymore. So I'm just going to show you an update to the Follow Me tool. And what all you have to do, it's pretty simple, is click the surface that you want to follow around. So I'm going to get my arrow tool and click that. You see it's polka dotted. And I'm going to grab Tools, Follow Me, and I can click this surface and just click that pattern and it's going to follow it all the way around with that Follow Me tool, because I had this surface selected. So you want to do that. And it doesn't matter if you have this off the screen a little bit where you can't really see it, or it's orientated a little bit, as long as you have that top surface clicked and then you go to Follow Me and click that pattern, it will follow it all the way around. All right, so now we've got that done. We're going to need to know where these holes are, because we're going to have to install holes on the bottom of the top. So if we can zoom in a little bit here to take a look, we want to know from the edge of the cabinet to the center of that hole, that's 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go 1 3/4 because we added a 1/4 inch overhang on the bottom. So I'm going to come to the bottom here, zoom in, and I'm going to go over 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to just draw a line straight across here, and that should be 1/4 inch in, 0.25. And that's going to be my center line of my holes. Then I'm going to come over 1.75, and that's going to be where that hole is going to intersect, or the center of the hole, 1.75. So now I'm going to use my circle tool up top. If it's not there, you can click on that and choose which one you want. If it's on rectangle, we want circle. And I'm going to click right on the center of that and pull it out. Now, if you remember, if you look down here at the bottom, this tells us we're working in our radius. So if our diameter is 5 millimeter, our radius is going to be 2.5 mm. Enter. And same over here, 2.5 mm. And then we can come in and erase these lines. We don't need any of these lines anymore. And whoops, I don't want to erase the circle. And inside the circle, I do want to get rid of the excess material. Okay. So now I'm going to need to push and pull that again. So I'm going to turn this down and I'm going to push this hole up. It was 7.5 millimeter. And up here again, up 7.5 millimeter. Okay, so there's that part is done. We're going to come back to the side now, and we need a bevel to match the back of this. So we're going to come in and we're going to do a 1/4 inch bevel. And so I'm going to come with my pencil and I'm going to come up 0.25, and I'm going to come with a pencil over 0.25, And then I'm going to find those dots and connect those lines. Now I'm going to use the follow me tool again. Under tools, follow me. And I'm going to push this all the way over to the edge of the side. Now I'm getting a little, where that circle was, I'm getting a little bit of an issue. So I'm going to just rotate this a little bit until we can use that follow me tool. I'm going to try to hold my surface up on the top here. Oh, still wanting to do that. I'll try putting my line down on the bottom. There we go. The bottom, and I want to make sure I stop right at this corner. So I'm going to click. Now, before I do anything, I want to make sure it's a nice fit over here, just an angle, that it didn't travel down the edge at all. Because if that's the case, we'll need to fix that. And again, we have this little tab left over. We're going to erase that tab. And now we can, since that looks good, we can group this together so that when we move it on top, it doesn't stick. So I'm going to triple click on it. It makes just the top blue. You can see my background is not blue. And then I'm going to control click or right click and do make a group. So now that we've made it a group, we're going to use the rotate tool, and I'm going to pick a point and another point, and I'm going to rotate this up. It doesn't have to be 90 degrees up, but it should be open enough that we can see those joints and stuff. We want to see the dados and rabbets inside. So now that we have that positioned or opened up, we need to move this into place. So I'm going to grab the 4 arrow move tool, and I'm going to grab the edge and just kind of try to get it into place for now. And then I'm going to move this in, and we're going to get in closer here. And we may have to do some manipulating. You can see we're not quite. So as we look at those pieces, we're going to need to align. We can use that hinge hole to try to align and get that centered on there. And let's take a little bit closer look and see if that was able to do it. So we are touching right on that joint where that should be. Oops, not quite, I guess. So it might take some moving around to get this right where it should be. We're going to check it from the other side here. That looks off a little bit as well, so we'll grab that and move it. And actually, if we take the center of that line and the center of that line should be the same. So that should got us where we need to be there. So now that that's on there and everything is trimmed and everything is follow me around, now you need to come in and do all your labeling and dimensioning. So you need to label the pieces, how long they are. We have rabbit joints here, how big is the rabbit, and dado joints, and fill out all those parameters so that someone can use this to build this project. How tall are the sides? How big are the feet? All of that information needs to be in the drawing here. So go ahead and make those on your plans, and then once you have this all done and finalized, then you can submit your work for a grade.